So in the last video, we talked about the software development lifecycle and the software development models used by a lot of organizations today. So in this video, we're going to talk about testing levels, right? The levels at which software testing is conducted, right? So there are four levels, to which any software should be tested, right? Four levels. And following these four levels is very important to ensure the quality of the product. So the first one I'm going to talk about is unit testing, right? Unit testing. So during unit testing, right, the software developer performs tests on each unit of the software being developed, each unit of code, each function, each function of code being written. It's passed through a unit test to ensure that that function performs exactly what it's supposed to do. It still performs its functions properly, right? So see what I did there? Function perform its functions. But yes, unit testing ensures that each of the functions, each of the modules in the code, right, perform what they are supposed to do properly. So for each module, each function, each method, right, a unit test is written to ensure that that code keeps performing its basic function for which it was written. So unit test is usually written by the developers, right, to test their code. Okay, so the next level of test will be integration testing, right? Integration testing, right? So integration testing refers to, right, testing the software integrations, right? If that software is connecting to a third-party API, third-party system somewhere, that integration needs to be tested to ensure functionality. It needs to be tested to ensure that it's properly connected, it's sending and receiving data back and forth, and it's basically doing what it was meant to do, is communicating properly and securely. It's sending and receiving data in the right format and all that. So integration testing basically aims to ensure that the integration between two systems is properly done and it's working properly. Now we go to the third level, which will be system testing, right? So in this level, you test the entire system. It's also called end-to-end testing. Test the entire system, inclusive of the integrations, the components, everything. You ensure that the entire system functioning properly, right? You test it end to end, front to back, right? Beginning to the end, right? So that's why it's also called end-to-end testing. So you perform a system test on the entire system developed, inclusive of the integrations, right? So, and that test is usually used to confirm that the entire system works for the purpose for which it was built, right? So that's it for system testing. And then the final level of test will be the acceptance testing, right? It's also called user acceptance testing, right? This is the point where the user of the system performs his own test on the system to ensure that the system has been built to his specification, right? Sometimes that user might be the client. Most times that user might be the client of the system, right? The client for which the system was built, right? The user uses the system, performs his own test to be sure that the developers of the system have built this system to his specifications, to his taste, right? The system is doing what they want it to do, right? And when they are satisfied with the test, they accept the system. So it's called user acceptance, right? They have to accept that, all right, we are satisfied with this system that has been developed and it's doing what we want it to do. That's user acceptance testing. That stage, they test and accept the system. If the system is not performing to their exact specifications, and of course the system fails the UAT, the user acceptance test, and the corrections will have to be made, points will have to be taken, what went wrong, what is not working as expected, and the developer has to go back and make those corrections to the system to ensure it's working to the client's expectation. So that is the final level of testing, user acceptance test. Once the system passes the user acceptance test, it can be deemed as ready to go into production, right? Ready to go live, ready to be deployed into the world. So these are the 4 levels of testing, right, involved. Start with unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and user acceptance testing. All right, so that's all for test levels, and I'll see you in the next video.